Since my last video blew up where I talked about why I would hire a Gen Z staff, there has been a lot of requests from people in the comments, also in my DMs and emails about me becoming their mentor or whether I can mentor them. Now I can tell you right now, I've got over 100 requests. People have been sending resumes to my emails, DMing my Instagram. At this moment, I can't mentor you because I just have no time, but there are 3 tips I can give you right now that hopefully may help you. So I know a lot of you guys find yourself in a lot of debt, stuck in a job that you hate, and you don't really have a career path at the moment. And you're wondering, well, what can I do to change my destiny? Can you become my mentor? Well, let me just give you a bit of information to change that for you right now. So just take it as I'm mentoring you right now. So you need to do 3 things and you need to keep this up for 2 months consistently. Step 1, I want you to draw this graph. I want you to draw 4 quadrants and put in S, W, O, T. It's called doing a SWOT analysis. Now every day for 1 hour, just pull 1 hour out of your precious time to do a SWOT analysis, a personal self-assessment of your situation. I want you to look at this point in your life, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? And most importantly, what is threatening you? And I want you to start with threats. Look at, what's threatening your life at the moment? Are you in a lot of personal debt? It could be credit cards, buy now, pay later, personal loan, car loans. And under this quadrant, put debts and list it down here. Another thing that's threatening you is your salary. Are you just making bare minimum just to get by? Is it affecting your livelihood? Is it threatening your way of living? Now afterwards, I want you to move anti-clockwise to go to weaknesses. And I want you in that hour to be brutally honest with yourself. For example, what are your bad habits? Do you tend to not follow through things that you promise other people that you'll do? Do you have fears as a weakness? Are you afraid of public speaking? Do you get nervous in confrontations? And I really want you to spend 80% of that 1 hour on these 2 quadrants. And of course, filling, your obvious strengths and then your obvious opportunities. Maybe, there might be a promotion for me. But I really, in this exercise, want you to focus on your W and T and really figure out, is it because of your W and T that made you the person you are today? And then I want you to draw a table, and there's 2 columns. On the left-hand side is I am, and the right-hand side is I am becoming. Then I want you to look at your W and your T. For example, you might be, one of your weaknesses, very impulsive, okay, as a bad habit. And then for threats is, currently you have a lot of debt. And then adding that together, on the left-hand side of this table, write down, I'm a impulsive, spender. And then on the right-hand side, write down what you ideally want to become. Okay, I want to become more controlled with my money/spending. Remember, who you are at the moment is not who you are in the next 5 or 10 years. So don't really guilt trip yourself or put yourself down. Just ask yourself, who do I want to become? What I am becoming. And then in this table, maybe include a 3rd column. You should probably start with a 3rd column and put down actionable steps. And look at what actionable steps you can take from where you are now to what you become, right? So for example, you're an impulsive spender. What are the actionable steps? Maybe cancel all your cards or pay it down and stop getting those buy now, zip pay, finances. And I really want you to spend that 1 or 2 hours to fill this all up. It might take you a week. Maybe the first day you come up with like 1 or 2 ideas, but then build up that momentum to self-assess. Now, step 2, I don't care what you're doing right now, but this is how I did it. And if you want my, mentor advice, is get a second job in direct sales. Like some of you guys, I want to become a mortgage broker like you. I want to run a business like you. Forget about that first, okay? Before I mentor anyone, I need to look at your basic skills. And some of you don't even have this basic skill. Whatever you want to become in your career path, you really need this basic skill, is sales. You could get a job as a call center, telemarketer. You can get a job as those people on the streets with a clipboard and then, they're in your face asking you random questions to donate or whatever. I want you to get a second job in the weekend or whatever in sales. You don't need to make money at all. You can make a little bit of money. But I want you to get into it because it's a Shaolin temple to build grit, because you'll learn about a lot of things: rejection, confrontation, how to handle confrontation, how to persuade someone, and most importantly, you learn to have a thick face. And final step number 3, I want you to start doing stuff like this. It's called daily journaling. This is the first book I finished in this month. This is my second book. And over in my shelf, there's about 10, 16 books. They're all notes, processes, procedures, mind maps, whatever it is I've absorbed, I've written it down about my career. I want you to spend 1 or 2 hours a day to journal what you're learning from your work. Either your current job or your second job, which is your sales job. I'm telling you right now, my secret to becoming where I am today is through journaling. That's why I have so much to talk about every day through this channel. I didn't just start this channel like yesterday when I was born and start talking. No, it was like 15 years of constant writing notes. To give you an example, I was a bank assessor for one bank. I wrote down all their procedures, thought processes, whatever people were talking about that was valuable, I wrote it down. Then I worked for another mortgage broker before I became my own mortgage broker. I wrote down all their notes, procedures, everything. When I worked for sales before, I wrote down all the secrets, everything that I could learn, I'll write it down. And I can tell you what, when you write things down and start to, procedurize it, process it, mind map it, it makes it so much easier when you explain it to another person. That's why you guys find my TikTok so easy to understand, because I have this habit. And you know what, when you're able to explain something that is complex in a simple way, people see you as an expert. And what happens when they think, who's the next person to promote? You. Guys, I know this is a long TikTok, but for you guys who have low education, or you might have finished school or uni, whatever it is, this is your form of self-education. And I can tell you right now, if you start this for 2 months and you keep all this journaling and all this stuff and SWOT analysis, in 2 months, you're no longer a junior in your industry. You are now a thought leader. And then when you combine a thick face that you get from sales, combined with your self-knowledge and becoming, someone that's a thought leader, you combine those two things, you become an unstoppable force. And then after 2 months, maybe on your 3rd month, when you're doing another SWOT analysis, you realize there's less weaknesses, more strengths, less threats, more opportunities. You're now in S&O mode. Again, this video is long for a TikTok platform, but if you watch it thus far, it means you are ready to be mentored. As I say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.